Today, 10:40, Sweden and Italy. We'll get things started on the men's side. And, Sweden, Italy is the 3 o'clock game, and the early game is going to be Slovakia, Finland.
Yeah, 10:30,
10:40 is Slovakia, Finland. 10:40 this morning.
Yep.
Jeremy and Joe, good morning. It is time for the U.S. hockey tournament. Whatever. Me calling it the U.S. hockey tournament. The Olympic hockey tournament. That's what I'm trying to say. It's early. It's before 7 a.m. 803-0550, our number, 1-888-550-2550. This Sabres break, the NHL break, is kind of waiting. Just waiting for them to come back. We are 2 weeks from them returning. They'll be back on the 25th, I believe, is the day they come back.
And we're 23 days away from the trade deadline. Not that far away.
Not that far.
They're only going to play like 5 games before it. And then that's it. 5 or 6 games.
5 games and 3 dangerous, I think, teams in that mix.
Yeah.
Vegas, Tampa, maybe not New Jersey, but I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about the deadline. I'm thinking a lot about the deadline and teams that might be selling. I mean, there are big ideas. They are a buyer for the first time. Well, they're a real buyer for the first time in over a decade. There was the 1 year that Bottrell decided they were going to be like a fake buyer when they traded for like Wayne Simmons at the deadline when they were 9 points out of a playoff spot. I think that maybe is the meaningful games in March quote that gets referenced. They traded for guys because they wanted to have meaningful games in March, even though they were like 10 points out of a playoff spot. So other than that, they haven't been I don't think, a legitimate buyer since they last made it, right? What's their last like real buying deadline move? Brad Boyes.
Other than, again, that like they trade for Wayne Simmons, but it was fake.
Rafi Torres, Brad Boyes. Like that timeline?
Those guys, right? The Dominic Moore era. Maybe he came after them.
Rafi Torres, to me, feels like the biggest one.
Well, he was the last one they made when they made the playoffs, so I'm assuming that is either the one or like one before.
That's 2010.
Right.
They traded for a guy that had scored 19 goals in 60 games. He had scored more goals. I think Torres scored more goals than anybody that was moved at the deadline that year. And then he came to Buffalo and scored 0 goals.
Never scored. Never scored for the team.
And then went to Vancouver and scored 14 the next. Like, it's just, looking at its page, it's funny. It's 19, over with 2 different teams. 19, Columbus, 19. No, that would have been the same year. 14, 15, and then just a cup of coffee with the Sabres, 0. No goals. The only team he didn't score with. Anyway.
And those are not massive deadline moves where like you're the story of the day, and there are players they could trade for at the deadline where that would be the case. Like if they got one of the Blues guys, the Blues are 15 points out of the playoffs right now, like they're going to sell, maybe they're going to blow it up. And if you're the team that goes out and trades for Jordan Kyrou at the deadline, then guess who the deadline's about? So did you see what the Sabres did?
Yeah.
They went out and traded for a 30-goal scorer, a perennial 30-goal scorer that's 27 years old. And he's going to be this year and beyond. Like that level of move. They haven't done in my lifetime.
You want to do that for, what, Ostland? Isn't that the piece they're asking for? Your best young forward? They're asking for him? Or who?
They're asking for him. Can I get them to settle on, like...
An injured Yuri Kulik is who you're going to say here?
He's the name I want, but right, because of blood clots, I don't know if he's tradable. Hellenis in a first?
I don't know. The Rafi Torres trade
my best non-NHL prospect
is
right now.
Hellenis.
And a first-round pick.
First-round pick in the 20s?
Yeah, maybe it's in the teens. Maybe it's in the high teens. But yeah, pretty much.
The Torres trade was Nathan Pache and a second for Rafi Torres to the Blue Jackets, if you care about that, in 2010. But for the Sabres in the deadline, we're all waiting for Jarmo to really put his fingerprints on this team. He has re-signed Josh Doan.
Yes, that's
extended Josh Doan. And really that's it. The team just started winning. He gets kind of some credit for that.
Yep. They have not signed Alex Tuck.
No.
He said that was a priority in the press conference, and that has not happened.
There seem to be reports about the Tuck stuff that it's not particularly close.
No. And that, by the way, any move that I just mentioned about, like, you trade for Robert Thomas or Jordan Kyrou or one of these guys that's, like, those two actually have the same contract. They're in year 3 of 8-year deals at $8.1 million per year.
That just replaces Tuck?
That replaces Tuck. And you might even argue, well, okay, good. They are younger than Tuck. They are arguably better than Tuck. They are cheaper than Tuck probably will get paid because of the deal they're already on. So you have to trade for them, though, and you don't have to trade for Tuck. But you could argue that is reasonable. It's a better idea, long-term, money, age, and, you would get a couple of months of having both of them on the team at the same time.
One thing about Kekalainen's mindset that's interesting in his presser where he said the worst day is, of course, the day you lose, and it's worse if you go farther.
Yeah.
Which, I get that. Yeah. Heartbreak. If you lose in the Cup final, that might be more heartbreaking than losing in the first round. But that's, of course, not something you should be afraid of.
No.
You wouldn't. I'm not going to make this trade because I'm afraid we'll lose later. But as he looks at this team, what does he think he can do this year? And what does he think that it's worth, right? When they were out of it, he's talking about how we're not going to do blah, blah, blah just to make it. That's not good enough to just make it. And Tuck is the one who, 2-3 weeks ago said, we're not trying to just make it. We're talking about the Stanley Cup. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a conversation that the GM has with him for this season. Like, why is the Cup on Tuck's mind? Just because they've won so many games? Is it talked about in the room? Is it the kind of thing that they think, we might not be a perfect team, but how far should we think we can go? And if you're Jarmo, do I have a move that I feel is the difference between the second round and the third round?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, goalie is still always going to be like right there as, you hope it doesn't run out. You hope your goalie luck doesn't run out.
Mm-hmm.
But, you could do things to make you stronger in other areas. And I wonder what his appetite is to when they get back from the Olympics, of course, because there is a roster freeze. But when they get back from the Olympics and they got 5 games before the deadline, what is his appetite to do something? Mm-hmm. Panarin got moved.
Yep.
I told you I thought the Sabres made a call on that. The Islanders have made a pair of trades. And I bet after the deadline, once guys get back from the Olympics, a game or 2 in, we're going to see more movement because the deadline comes up pretty quick after. So I'm eager to get a rumor or 2 out there, but it's a little bit of a quiet time as we wait for this tournament to start.
And Jarmo's in Italy, too.
Yes.
So he's
with Team Finland.
I'm not sure how many NHL GMs would be there. I guess Bill Guerin's there. He could talk to him. And I'm sure there are a couple of others. But, I don't expect many rumors over the next 3 weeks here.
Yeah.
But immediately after that, our GMs sitting on ideas that they're texting guys about, but they know they can't really act on. And who also falls out? Nashville's a team that always gets rumored to sell, but they are 4 points out of a playoff spot. So how much does their 5-game stretch really change what they're going to be? Mm-hmm. What if they lose 4 of them and now they're 8 points out? What if they win 3 of them and they're 3 points out? There might be players that you think you can get, and honestly, a 5-game stretch for another team could actually impact whether or not you can actually get your hands on them.
Yeah. 803-0550, our number, Jeremy and Joe. Good Wednesday morning. Mike Giannetti of Spot Track, top of the hour. We also have a bit of a small Max Crosby update. You can make the adjustments in your program, how likely it is that you think he's traded after what we heard a little bit from Clint Kubiak yesterday, new Raiders coach. We'll get you that story. Mike Giannetti of Spot Track on the Bills and just what they can do with their cap. It's all coming up here on WGR.